financial literacy, and the human condition. Welcome to Financial Fitness with the Money Doctor, Dr. Francis Rayam.
Hi, it's Francis. I just wanted to take a minute to thank you for watching this video. If you're catching us on YouTube, please help us help others by clicking like, subscribe, and all notifications so you don't miss any videos. And check back for the next video. I think you're going to love it. Thanks again. For more information, you can visit us at hugyourmoney.com.
Welcome to Financial Fitness. Let me start again. Sorry, I didn't press play. Welcome to Financial Fitness. I'm Jess Tyler, along with the Money Doctor, Dr. Francis Rayam. Hi.
Hi, Jess. How are you?
I am great. We have a guest today.
Guess who we have today?
Somebody's had before, I believe, right?
It's not fair to
guests.
It's not fair to ask you to guess, but we've had him before, and I just love it when he comes on because he's all about what we're about, which is education. So we have Justin Lawrence from the Franklin County Technical School right here in Turners Falls, Mass. Often we have somebody from far away, but we got a local guy today, and he is the coordinator for the adult education program. And so welcome back, Justin.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, that's cool, except it's not morning here, and we forgot to tell you that. So can you just pick up again with hi?
Absolutely. Hello. Thank you so much for having me back.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. So, you know, I love the idea of this adult education. And just to give our listeners and viewers a little bit of a background, even though I'd been in town for years, and so has Franklin County Tech School, I became interested in it because I received one of your brochures in the mail. It was an 8.5 by 11, beautiful looking brochure. I thought it came from a college, and it came from the tech school. And I called my boyfriend right away and I said, hey, I got this great pamphlet from a tech school and they're getting it done. I mean, look at the stuff they've got. And it really rivaled anything I've seen from a community college, for instance. In fact, I recently saw an interview with several of the local community colleges on the interview, and they were offering very similar, at least one of them was offering similar programs to what you offer right here at the tech school. So could I get you to talk to me about that a bit? What do you offer right now for adult education?
Absolutely. So currently, we are the very proud recipients of the Career and Technical Initiative Grant. It's from the state of Massachusetts, and it enables us to provide tuition-free education for qualifying adults to train in new career paths so that they can find high-paying jobs while simultaneously filling holes in the Massachusetts workforce. So it's a beautiful partnership between the state and a lot of the technical schools in the Commonwealth to do just that, provide a really good education, which is what we're experts at, while filling holes in the state's economy, which is great.
Yeah, I think there's going to be more and more of this, actually, if we zoom out to a macroeconomic picture for a moment. With the federal government pushing more things on the states are finding new ways, creative ways, I hope, to support their citizens. And one of those is to try and get and keep them off of some sort of state aid so that the states can survive on the money they do have. And in order to get that done, helping people get to the next level of income and the next level in their career is brilliant and paramount, and the kinds of things we want to do for people who are prideful and who want to get there in life. Yes, I can see it on your face. Well, you have something to say.
Especially when we talk a lot about college loans and kind of all of that stuff. Trade fields just seem so much more, people are looking to that more, where you're not going to have this huge loan to pay off at the end of it, and you're going to get a high-paying job in most of these trade fields.
Yeah, Justin was just telling me, maybe, is it okay to talk about somebody who's not here? We had hoped to have her as a guest, but yeah, okay. So I love these success stories, and Justin was just telling me about someone, and I won't rain on his parade. I'll let him tell. I think you know the story I mean.
Yeah, are you talking about Li Ming?
I am. I didn't want to mention her by name, but she's just one example, but she's a very recent example. So would you share her story with us?
Absolutely. So she came to us as a really hardworking person who was working in the service industry, was working really, really hard and looking for the next opportunity. And so when she stumbled across our program, she applied and we did an interview. Was very impressed with her initiative and her resolve and her commitment. And so we welcomed her into our auto technology program. She trained for 12 weeks while simultaneously working and raising children and leading a full life. It was a big commitment for her, but she finished really, really strong. She showed great promise in a couple of the technical areas of the training, specifically the electrical systems of vehicles and testing the electrical systems and repairing them. And she had a great aptitude just naturally for that area of the training. She passed with flying colors, did very, very well. If we had a grading system, she would have gotten an A plus, but we don't. And when she graduated, she really hit the streets and put in a lot of applications and got a couple of really great offers. The offer that she decided to go with was with a foreign high dollar car dealership in a local dealer, and she's going to be working in their service department and doing an excellent job already of breaking into the industry. So we couldn't be prouder of her and what this shift meant for her, both in regard to earning potential, but also in regard to how scary it might be for some people to leave everything that they've known in regards to work and to step into a new place. And as a woman, to step into a male dominated field and to be the greenest and the newest person takes an incredible amount of courage. And all of that is being rewarded. All of her work is being rewarded, and we just couldn't be prouder of her.
Well, I love that story. It just ticks so many boxes for me. I happen to know what kind of dealership she's working at, and I have that kind of car. And I can tell you, I can't wait to meet her. I've never met her, but I can't wait to meet her. And I was a little bit of a gearhead when I was younger, still probably am a bit. And so I really love the idea of a woman. I know somebody will write into me about this, but I love the idea of a woman working in that dealership in the service department and doing what she wanted to do. And against the odds, as you said, she started in the service industry. I'm assuming you mean like wait staff service industry, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
food service. Okay. And
Food
so she's
service.
gone from that to something else while she's got kids and going to school, fighting the odds all the way. But I'm going to say something to you because you're too modest to say it yourself. That would not happen without the level of support that she got
Mm.
at Franklin County Tech School. If she had been somewhere else where somebody just said, well, I'm sorry, but you're on your own over here, she may not have made it. Your students fight lots of real life problems like kids and transportation and things like that, which I want to talk to you about. But the first thing that I want to mention that we've never talked about before is something you brought up that I think people went like, what do you mean no grading system?
Was that the technical term?
Yeah, that's a technical term. So talk to us about no grading system. How appealing is that for somebody who's trying to stick their toe in the water here and jump in?
Mm. Yeah. So we, especially in the realm of adult education, we don't waste any time with any of the arbitrary processes that maybe some traditional schools still abide by. We do definitely have benchmarks and expectations around attendance and work ethic and progressing through the curriculum, but we don't assign grades. We are encouraged and actually mandated by the grant funder, the Commonwealth Corporation, to provide industry recognized credentials. So for many of our programs, it would be a HotWorks certificate or an OSHA card. It might also be an industry certificate that would help to earn someone a job in a job interview. And those are what we use to help people progress through the program to graduation. And so they could potentially graduate and leave our program without having earned any, but none of them do. They all really buckle down and do a great job of earning everything that is available to them, which is really great. And it also is important for us that we're not asking them to perform for the sake of performance. Everything that they're working on, everything that they're learning has a real life application and something that will benefit them in their future career.
Yeah, I have to say that Jess brought up, the idea of student loans and the push toward tech school. I'm seeing statistics that say, I don't know if they're true, but I'm seeing statistics that say that enrollment in adult education programs at tech schools outpaced enrollment in community colleges in the last year. That almost wouldn't surprise me, even though community college tuition is now free in the state, right? So to me, that says that this trend that Jess and I have been talking about for years, which is similar to doctors telling their children, don't go into the medicine field because it's just not what it used to be, right? The idea that you're going to go to college, you're going to rack up these student loans in order to get your career off the ground works for a lot of people, but it doesn't work for everybody. And for people who didn't have a college path in mind, to be trapped in a much lower earning job because there's no other outlet, no other path for them is pretty lousy. So I really love, and let me point out, we need people who do things. Okay. I love my brainiacs, right? But we need people who know how to change a faucet if we can't do it, who know how to repair your car. And so I think having a place where people get this education, certainly the state funding sees it, right? The grant people see it, Career Technical Initiative, right? The CTI grant that you guys survive on, right? Which is what provides this free tuition for people. It understands that if we train people, they get to a better level and they provide things back to the community that we need right here in our own area. Yeah. It's a great model. Can you talk to us just a little bit? We have about another minute before break, but can you talk to us about what kind of eligibility criteria somebody has? How much money can they make less than and still qualify for free tuition? And what happens after that?
Sure. So for the CTI grant programs, there are a couple of non-negotiables for qualifying for the grant funding. One is that they live and reside in the state of Massachusetts. One is that they earn less than the poverty level. So for folks who are living in Franklin County, and it's designated by county, and it's different in each one. In Franklin County, it's $48,500 a year. And then the last real qualifier is that the person is committed to working full time in the industry in which they train. So they have to be over the age of 18. But there's no age cap. As long as they fit those four criteria, they are a really good candidate for one of our programs.
That's fabulous. When we come back, I want to talk to you more about what happens if people don't fit in that criteria. They're not kicked out, they can still participate. So we'll talk about that.
All right. In the meantime, let's get your number, Francis.
Sure, Jess. It's 413-773-3333.
And you can also go to hugyourmoney.com. We'll be back with part 2 of Financial Fitness right here on WHMP.
Financial Fitness with the Money Doctor is underwritten by Franklin County Technical School. We build futures. Visit fcts.us or call 413-863-9561.
Welcome back to Financial Fitness. I'm Jess Tyler, along with the Money Doctor, Dr. Francis Ram.
Hi, and Justin Lawrence from Franklin County Technical School. So welcome back, Justin. I chopped you off just before the break. We were talking about how people qualify for the adult education program if they fit these four criteria. And one of them is that they have to make less than $48,500 in Massachusetts. I think the federal poverty level is something like 49.1 right now. But if you're above that, or if you don't live or work in Massachusetts, you can still participate in this. Is that correct? How do you do
It
it?
is. Yeah, absolutely. So we would ask students to go through the same application process just so that we know all of the information about them that we need. And then, if space allows in our programs, we take tuition students into the CTI programs. It's a reasonable $3,000 for the 12-week, 20-hour-a-week training. So it's a total of 230 hours of hands-on learning experience, and they can pay the tuition to us in pieces. We break it down for whatever is convenient for them, so long as they provide a 10% deposit for the class. We'll work with them through the training so that they can make it to the end.
That sounds incredibly affordable for anything like this. And I know that you have job placement help and things like that, but I want to just touch on some of your partnerships because you are local and you have partnerships with the Peterson School, Greenfield Community College. We just talked about community colleges, right? And Mass Hire. So you don't just train these people, you're working to support them into their careers.
Absolutely. So we approach our students as a full, whole person. And so the first thing that we do is to lean into Maslow's need hierarchy and really try to view them as a complete person and make sure that they are at a place where they are able to receive the education that we're providing. So we've got a little bit of financial incentive from the grant funder to help them with some of those daily life struggles that they might be having. Then to continue our work as approaching the whole person, we provide to them a really great program. Actually, Mass Hire provides to them a really great, well-rounded employment education that would include things like resume writing, cover letter writing, how to rock an interview. Each student is assigned a career counselor, and that person works with them one-on-one to make sure that when they graduate after the 12 weeks, they are as ready to apply and interview for a job as possible. The job market is forever changing, and the hiring process is forever changing and can be really intimidating for somebody who hasn't been involved in that kind of transaction in a long time.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's
That's an
helpful.
incredible amount of support that I just think it's amazing that you are understanding, you're meeting these people where they are. I love that you said rock the interview so they can learn how to rock the interview. That was just great. Can you explain a little bit more about what somebody experiences? First of all, which programs you offer now, what the experience might be like how many days a week they go, and then maybe give us a little teaser about what might be coming down the pike?
Absolutely. So currently we offer 5 CTI programs. We offer them in horticulture, electrical, auto technology, welding, and carpentry and construction arts. So those are the 5. Very rarely do all 5 run at the same time. Usually we have 4 in progress. And the student can expect 12 weeks. And when we start, we run Monday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m. With a little bit of a meal break there in the middle. So they are coming to school. I always describe it to applicants as taking on a new part-time job. It is a 20-hour-a-week commitment, and it's one that needs a lot of devotion because we move so quickly through the curriculum. There isn't a lot of opportunity to make up the work if a student is consistently absent. So
Sure.
when they're admitted, we have to make sure that they have a good idea of what they're getting into and that they're committed to the whole course.
So it's not for the faint of heart. But if you're serious about doing this, this is a path for you to get there, right? I remember when we first met, I said to you, do you have a course in this? I would take this as a homeowner, you know?
Mhm.
So tell us, are you allowed to tell us right now
Uh,
what's coming? I
I
put you on the
am,
spot.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll be careful to preface and say that we have applied for another round of this funding.
Yes.
The governor and the workforce board has committed to funding another round. The rounds last 2 years, and so we put in an application for $2.1 million to be able to offer more of the trainings in those 5 programs I just talked about. But we're also looking to add 2 additional disciplines. One would be in plumbing and heating, and the other would be in facility maintenance. So we have submitted the application. We haven't heard back if we've been awarded yet, but we're very hopeful and counting on hopefully
Yes.
getting this grant.
Yeah,
But after the 12 weeks, what do you get a certification? Like, obviously, you're not a plumber or an electrician after 12 weeks. You got
right.
to go through the journeyman and all of that. So, what
Mhm.
is it exactly that you get at the end of specifically those fields?
Excellent question. So we offer an opportunity and an initial education so that you can find an entry level position in those fields. So on completing our course, a
Mhm.
student would be able to approach a master plumber or a master or journeyman electrician and to get a job with them as an apprentice with some
Got it.
hands-on and code knowledge. So our electrical students graduate with 150 hours of their code licensure hours that come from the state. So we do our best to equip them with the technical knowledge and hands-on experience that they need to be attractive to those folks.
So at that point, you do give them some support in job placement.
Absolutely. So, one of the things that we are sure to share early on in the application process is employment is not guaranteed. Unfortunately, I don't have a stack of
Right.
open positions where I can place students, but the school and our supporters are incredibly well connected to both our community and our community that's a little bit further away. So, Hamden, Hampshire, Worcester, Berkshire County, we have lots and lots of connections. And so we invite employers to come in to speak to students and start to begin relationships and networking. We have career fairs, we have guest speakers, and we have community sponsors and partners who are committed to interviewing and giving a chance for open positions to some of our students. So, in the grand scheme of things, most of the students who are hired out of our program are going to businesses that are right here in Franklin County and who we have had working relationships with for most of them years now.
So it brings the question to me about something like right now it's the season, right? And you have a horticulture program. Do
Mhm.
people from your horticulture program go out and work on their own? Do they have to, I mean, how does that differ, for instance, from something like electrical or plumbing where you do need to go through the apprenticeship? Do you have to do that with horticulture as well?
Great question. Not necessarily. We are very clear with our students that after 12 weeks, they probably will not have a mastery level knowledge of the field. And
Mhm.
so we don't necessarily encourage folks hanging out a shingle or starting their own business at first. We do like to inspire and fan the flame of future entrepreneurs while they are with us. And so if someone has an entrepreneurial spirit, we definitely encourage them to continue through their training, while also being realistic that they're going to have to work in another capacity for another company or another master until they're able to do that.
Yeah, I think that's important. We see a lot of businesses fail. In fact, most businesses where people just start up a business, they want to make nice business cards and brochures and dream about how the phone is going to ring off the hook but they don't necessarily have the skills about segregating their advertising budget and learning what they need to learn to market and sustain and pay their taxes, for instance, right? A lot of self-employed people end up doing fine for the first year and then, oh, wow, I owe the IRS a lot of money because I didn't segregate my tax money and pay it in. So I think setting realistic expectations is probably one of the best and kindest things you can do, because then they know what they're studying for. They know where they're going to get, and they're prepared to want the next level if they want to get beyond that. But it gets them into a place where they're able to make, hopefully, a stable income in the field that they want to be working in. And it's quite a leap. I mean, you are transforming somebody's life. I don't think that's overstating this. When you take somebody from food service and put them into automotive repair, that's a transformation. Now, you could do it the other way and it would still be a transformation, right? But that brings with it a whole list of different things, that a different culture, a different experience, a different sense of self, perhaps. And so I think that's a really, really powerful thing. Can you briefly tell me what you do for outreach now to make sure that people know that these programs are available, and what your utopian dream might be for Franklin County Tech School adult program?
Sure. So, a quick shameless plug is we have more than just the CTI programs. And so we are also offering some community workshops, some community classes. The superintendent had given me a directive when I first took this position to make Franklin County Tech feel like the community's school, a resource for everyone in the community, whether they're looking for a new job or they have a high school student. Franklin Tech should feel like home to them. And so we're trying to do that with all of our other programming outside of CTI, supporting entrepreneurs, supporting recreation, and we're getting the word out about all of these programs through our brochure, through our website, through things like this. But honest to goodness, the most effective form of marketing that I have found so far has been twofold. It's been the word of mouth and people talking about their experiences, and also our folks, our friends at Mass Hire. They are so great at sharing what we're doing and the purpose for which we're doing it with the greater community, and they've got such an excellent platform. I'll also take a quick opportunity to mention Greenfield Community College. We have an excellent partnership with them. They host some of their training on our campus, and we work very closely in making sure that although we have similar missions and messages, that we're complementing each other and that we're working together to offer our area the best and most well-rounded education possible. And so through those outlets, we see an excellent return on our marketing investment.
If I sound enthusiastic about Franklin County Technical School, I should say it's not because they sponsor our show, although they do sponsor our show. That just sort of happened organically, right? But this is something that I think is in the community, of the community, and for the community. And I don't see a flaw in that. So I want to thank you again for coming on and chatting with us about this. And I hope you'll come back and maybe share some more stories with us about other students.
I would love to. Thanks for having me.
Justin, do you want to maybe share your website with us before you go?
Absolutely. Yes. People can find us at FCTS.us.
Thank you. And Francis, as always, I need your phone number because people will have questions.
Of course. It's 413-773-3333.
And you can go to hugyourmoney.com. And we'll be back next week with another edition of Financial Fitness right here on WHMP.
Financial Fitness with the Money Doctor is underwritten by Franklin County Technical School. We build futures. Visit fcts.us or call 413-863-9561.